I believe we were trying to prove Maggie's innocence. Something about switching the the number plates on the doors and missing fingerprints on knobs. Too much information. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started. Hopefully it's saved my spot. Alright. And I guess there's no music here yet. Portsman's Alibi Part 2. That thief you ran into should be a real suspect, wouldn't you say? We should be out there looking for that thief right now. They might still be nearby! I hate to repeat myself, but as I've already said, I was training in my room. And when Jim came to deliver some evidence to me, I was down at Criminal Affairs. So I can't be expected to know what happened around here after I left. So you think we should be out there looking for the thief? Of course! Now isn't the time to be wasting time on dead-end discussions. Hey GQ, how are you doing? Howdy ho! What's up? I don't think it's at all dead-ended. I find your alibi to be fascinating. Let's continue where we left off, shall we? I know he's lying. I know he was here at the scene of the crime. I just had to find a way to prove it! Let's do this! Let's dust his knobs again. Portsman's Alibi Part 2. Just doing a little something before heading out. That's cool. The thief you ran into should be a real suspect, wouldn't you say?
Hold it!
Hold it! Rebut like never before! Actually, no, I wouldn't. Why not? That's elementary. I don't know why I want to say elementary for some reason. I did that last night as well. That's elementary. The dying message, of course. Mr. Faith's killer very clearly left those letters on the spines of those files. And it was after they were there that the thief stole one of them. You mean the 0 files, right? That we've mentioned 3 times previously? And that's how we also know the letters themselves were set up, and not from Mr. Faith. If the thief was the killer, do you think they would try to undermine themselves? Maybe the killer just didn't think of that either. Yes, that must be it. Maybe, just maybe. Should be out there looking for the thief right now. It might still be nearby.
Hold it!
Once escaped, I highly doubt a thief would linger nearby. Well, you never know. Maybe they didn't get what they really were after. What they were really after. Oh? You talk like you know quite a bit about this thief. It's nothing like that. I have no idea about anything after all. I hate to repeat myself, but as I've already said, I was training in my room.
Hold it!
But according to Mr. Faith's note... Hold on. I thought we already cleared that up. Didn't we say that Jim left that note for me in the early evening? If you have proof that he left it at a different time, say, just before he was murdered... I don't have any, no. You see? So I insist again that it was in my office the entire time. So when Jim came to deliver some evidence to me, I was down at Criminal Affairs. What do we have as evidence? Okay. I was down in Criminal Affairs. Hold it! Why didn't you go there with Mr. Faith? Ah, that's because he said he was tired and was going to take a quick nap. Put that. You know those sofas in the hallway? He likes to sleep on those. It's one of his habits. And what of the evidence he brought? they were things related to yesterday's case. Just 2 items, a gun and a pendant. Interesting. This piece of testimony seems too crucial to let slip through the cracks. Okay, so he brought me 2 items, a gun and a pendant, that are related to yesterday's case.
Hold it.
A gun and a pendant? Yeah, this gun, which was the murder weapon. And this pendant, which belonged to the victim. And why are you taking them to criminal affairs? There was something in a past case file I wanted to compare these two to. But all this has nothing to do with the case right now. Anyway, I believe you'll find the long paper trail I left to be to your satisfaction. This is all matching up with that what Detective Gumshoe found out. Can't be expected to know what happened around here after I left. Hold on, what? He brought me 2 items. Okay, the note says he brought 3 items. We were just looking at it. I brought the 3 pieces of evidence. So I guess we have to show that, but let's go ahead and press the last segment. Can't be expected to know what happened after I left.
Hold it.
I can't expect you to know, can I? Nope, but I guess you can expect me to guess based on logical deductions. Oh? Then let's see you deduce. Jim waited for me to leave and then stole the master key. For the purpose of sneaking into your room, of course. And that's when Miss Bird caught him red-handed and the murder occurred! It's all exactly as I laid out earlier. I know he's lying. I know he was here at the scene of the crime. I just have to find a way to prove it. Alright, let's do what I was thinking. Whoops. You start your day with a glass of D juice every time. There's no better way to start your day. Are you starting your day right now? I'm about to end mine. Time zones are completely over my head.
Objection.
Only 2 pieces? I believe the proper phrase here is, you fail. Excuse me? You fail as a prosecutor, Mr. Portsman, as you intend to keep evidence hidden from me. Kinda half in bed, it's 11:20, is that PM I would guess? I mean AM, sorry. What are you talking about? I haven't hidden anything from you. Well, here's a piece I think you should read carefully. Ah, it says that Mr. Faith was bringing 3 pieces! Yes, and this is the victim's real dying message to you, Mr. Portsman. I can't believe to get tripped up by simple arithmetic. Where is the missing piece of evidence? It's... You have it, don't you? Only the guilty would make such a face. Detective Gumshoe! You don't have to say it, sir. I'll pat the guy down from head to toe. Don't forget to dust his knob again. Oh, don't come any closer, I'm warning you. This is all part of the investigation, pal. So don't even think about stopping me. No! Hey, what's this? He had this on him, sir. Despite what you said, it would appear that you do have something to hide. Mathematics, bitches! 2 instead of 3? What? But why would he hide something like that? Humph. There's only one reason why anyone would hide evidence of this caliber. Because it would unequivocally point to that person himself as the real killer. Gah. Let's examine this videotape in a little more detail. For the section of the tape that will drive the last nail into his coffin. Oh, it's gonna be on the tape? Oh, there's blood on it. What does this say? K68 incident. Let's see if he talks about it. KG8. Did I say 6? KG8. KG8 incident. That's a police case number, sir. Does that mean this video is evidence from that case? Interesting. However, what's recorded on this isn't what's important right now. Let's give the casing a thorough once-over. Does anyone even know what this is? A VHS tape. It's a video game. I recently asked my daughter what she thought of VHS was. Yeah, VHS. And she said it was a game console. I don't know where she got that idea from. Anyways. That's blood, isn't it? Yes, and I believe this is what the good prosecutor was trying to hide from us. This blood is still fresh. You mean this might be Detective Faith's blood? No, you've got it all wrong. No amount of denial can save you. We have but to run a blood test to find the truth. Why do they keep making this noise? You told us that you had received evidence from the victim earlier. Now you will tell us when and how did the victim's blood find its way onto this video. You're a proud VCR and VHS. Oh yeah, I asked her what a VCR was. And damn it, my kids are gonna know too. Well, I've had a VCR. I don't know if I still have it, but I at least had one until we moved out of our apartment. And we watched tapes on it too. I had some really old movies that we would watch. But I think that was before she was born, so I think my son would know what it is, but not her. Yeah, it's totally suspicious. Was it at the moment of his death? What are you doing? Are you gonna watch something? Oh, okay. Was it at the moment of his death? Did Detective Faith have this videotape on his personage when you killed him? Or personage? I don't know how you say that word. When you killed him? Hi, strange intruder. She just kind of inserts her presence there. Let's see, you know very well there's no way to prove that. Not even if we were to examine this tape for fingerprints. No! If I had to take a guess, I'd say that the only ones on here would belong to the murderous you and Mr. Faith. No, impossible! I'm Ew! What was that look on his face? He looked thrilled to have swallowed his medal. He was so excited. Anyways. March 14th, 5:47 a.m. High Prosecutor's Office's room 1202. Yeah, he looked like he was enjoying that. Mr. Portsmouth has been placed under arrest for the murder of Detective Buddy Faith. Very good. And the results we got back from the lab techs on the tape turned out to be real solid, sir. The blood work came back and it was definitely Mr. Faith's blood on there. And as a bonus, they were able to lift a few of Mr. Faith's fingerprints as well. Thank you so very much, Mr. Edgeworth. I still can't believe I got to see your cool deduction skills outside the courtroom. I'm impressed beyond words, sir. It was nothing. I'm just sorry you got caught up in a murder in my office. Please accept my apologies. You missed whatever I said, ooh. Aww. But hey, Double Skimming, how are you doing? The guy, like, swallowed the metal that was around his neck, and then he was super happy about it. He had this huge look of satisfaction on his face. Oh, it was nothing really, compared to what I've been through, I mean. I consider myself lucky that it was only a burglary and a murder this time, sir. If it had been a holdup or a hostage situation, I'd have thrown my hands up in the air. I think I'm finally rising up from a goddess of misfortune to just an unlucky person. Something tells me we should have hired a different person for security detail. You know something, sir? That Mr. Portsman really was one corrupt prosecutor. And why would you say he was corrupt? Well, I heard that there were a number of suspicious things related to his court cases. There's even rumors about how some of the evidence he uses is forged, sir. Forged evidence, huh? And they say he even decided not to prosecute a few cases for some really vague reasons. Ugh, that guy was a complete disgrace to the entire profession. I like how he just like wags his hand around, pointing at people. We never did get around to asking what his reason was for breaking into my office. Yeah, whenever we got near that topic, he just clammed up. Although we can be pretty certain that it was to steal something. This is just between you and me, sir, but there's a rumor that some sort of huge organization is involved behind the scenes. Oh? Well, well. With Mr. Portsman not willing to divulge anything, it certainly lends credence to that rumor. Just the character of Edgeworth. No one points someone like that. Hello, Apex. How are you doing? Is this still how Gumshoe let someone die in his office? Yeah, it's still this one. It's the very end of it. Let's see. It certainly lends credence to that rumor. It would seem that we haven't heard the last of this. Huh? Then Mr. Portsman isn't the bad guy? I didn't say that, but rather that there are still many more mysteries for us to solve. For example, we still haven't figured out the significance to this piece of evidence. The stolen book, probably? Or the guns.
Take that!
The person who stole this file, the other villain of the night. Yeah, I wonder who it was. And what happened to the stolen pages? Burned! I wonder, who in the world was that? Who in the world was it that held me up at gunpoint? Good, ready for the weekend. Yeah, me too. They turn so pixelated when it's the one shot of the entire room. I know. Mr. Edgeworth, sir! Yes? I came across this while I was processing your office earlier, sir. This card! Shelly! Oh wait, no, that's not Shelly. What is it, sir? Is that a bird or something on there? It's not just any bird. It's the mark of the raven, a three-legged raven. Even you should know what this is, detective. Yes, everyone loves the weekend. It's a cravat, not an ascot. Oh, it's about that thing, isn't it? The great thief everyone's talking about. Yes, it's the mark of the great thief Yatagarasu. Under the mark of a legendary bird, the Yatagarasu is noble to the end. I probably am not saying this right. A modern Robin Hood. Like Goemon? Labeled mysterious and phantom-like, the Yatagarasu appears and vanishes at will. It's Mystic Maya! Though we don't know much about this thief's ultimate goal, we do know the targets. Yatagarasu likes to find and make public evidence of corrupt dealings of all sorts. The theft is always performed in silence and always with perfection. Once a target is chosen, no dramatic calling card or announcement is sent forth. Instead, the chosen corporation is infiltrated without even the target noticing. Some days later, the evidence that was found is sent out to the mass media, along with a single card. Although, it has been a while since the Yatagarasu's last appearance. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth! Look, something's written on the back. What? Let me see. It's the location of where the thief put the stolen files. So the person who stole the contents of the file was the Yatagarasu. I don't know. Organization, quite a few key words are popping up in this mystery. The murder in my office. The return of the great thief, Yatagarasu. Looking back, I can't say I didn't see these events coming, for they were heralded by the incidents that began to occur 2 days ago. I don't know what's going so slow. Are we going backwards? The Yakuza? I think that's what you're thinking of. Yatagarasu. Yes, I will save. Saving. This game takes a long time to save, much longer than the other games. Alright, Turnabout Airlines. Okay. Oh, I didn't get... Did that say something? The return of the great thief Yatagarasu. Thinking back, everything began on the fateful day 2 days ago. It was just a thief. Apex. In the game. I think Double Escape was just curious what the name of the mafia in Japan is called. What is going on? Yes, everything began high up in the air, 9,000 feet in the air to be precise. Thank you for flying iFly Airlines. We're currently experiencing some slight turbulence. We are asking all passengers to please return to their seats and fasten their seatbelts. Are the mafia in Texas? I don't think so. There's gangs, but I don't think there's mafia. March 12th, 6:13 a.m. Flight I-390, first floor lounge. He's just laying there. I wonder if turbulence scares him as earthquakes do. Edgeworth is the criminal. Wherever he goes, there's a case of murder. It's the same with Phoenix Wright. It seems like every time they go on vacation or something, there's a murder. Like they went to the circus, someone got murdered at the circus. Yatagarasu is also a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Fascinating. This is the fanciest plane. I know, right? Why do I feel like I just woke up from a horrible nightmare? That's why you don't become friends with the famous detectives. 6:13. Huh, I guess I was out cold for about 10 minutes. Huh, slight turbulence indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, we are currently experiencing some slight turbulence. For your safety, we ask that you return to your seats and fasten your seatbelts. I suppose turbulence is to be expected on a flight. Though admittedly, I'm less than comfortable with anything resembling earthquakes. What's this? A travel wallet? But it's not mine. That was just funny how it just kind of like tumbled off of him and into the wine or whatever that is. How did someone else's travel wallet end up in my pocket? My head. Why won't this headache go away? I'll take care of this travel wallet later. Or hand it off to an attendant. Ugh! From earthquake-like turbulence to an elevator. Poor Edgeworth. What am I doing hesitating like this? Actually, I know full well why I hesitate. It was when I was still but a young child. Please don't have a flashback. I was caught up in a murder that happened in an elevator. But how long am I going to let my past haunt me? It's just an elevator. I'm a grown man now! I need to behave like one. What the? It's Kristoff. What in the world happened? Is there something wrong, sir? I must ask that you please return to your seat. He's dead! Please, calm down. We mustn't jump to conclusions without all the facts. What's wrong? Did something happen? You murderer! No, you have it all wrong. It wasn't me. The air hostess is a doctor. March 12th, 6:41 a.m. Flight I-390, second floor, first class. Damn, that guy in the green suit is living it up. Holy shit. He must have dusted Kristoff's knob. Everyone, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I have an important announcement. I don't think he dusted it, I think he polished it. I'm one of your flight attendants today, Rhoda Tammy. Unfortunately, we have just had a minor accident on this flight. A minor accident? An accident! Don't treat us like we're stupid! I caught a glimpse and it was a murder! The person's got the flotation devices all over. What? Murder? What's going on with this flight? Everyone, please calm down. There's no reason to panic. I mean, there's only a murderer on the plane. This flight will stay on course and make its scheduled landing. Assuming you're all still alive. We're still currently in the middle of a rough patch of turbulence. When he drank too much and broke his sobriety button. All these buttons! So until we're out of this area of turbulence, I ask that you please remain seated. But someone was killed, right? I mean, what about the killer? Let me off! Just jump out the window! Please, there's no need to feel threatened. We've already apprehended the culprit. I ask that everyone please remain calm. Who the hell are you? What the heck is he talking about? Why should we remain calm? My name is Miles Edgeworth. I'm a prosecutor and I assure you I am not the killer. Ha! Being a prosecutor doesn't make you incapable of murder, buddy. Now you listen here. I'm not the killer. I simply found the body. So you say. However, I'm sure that you are the perpetrator of this crime. I swear on my honor as a professional flight attendant. It's probably her. Oh, is that right? I know what I saw. I saw you strangle that man. And there's even very strong incriminating evidence to back me up. She didn't see shit. She saw him open the elevator. What kind of incriminating evidence is she talking about? We've already alerted the proper authorities at our destination. Until we land, you will remain in our custody by the powers vested in our captain. I'm very sorry, but please understand our situation. Your situation? I'm more concerned with mine and the direction it's going in. Plane court! Drama plane! I'm not about to just sit idly by while I get accused of murder. Miss Tammy, is it? Yes? I was wondering if you might give me a chance. A chance? To do what? This! Yeah! A chance to plead my case. And a chance to ask what you meant by incriminating evidence just now, so I can destroy it. To accuse a passenger of such a grave crime without allowing him to give a proper defense. Can the professional flight attendant inside of you really call this action righteous? You have a point. Very well, I'll listen to what you have to say, but be wary of what you reveal. I'm afraid you'll only look even more suspicious if your explanation fails to satisfy. I also do not have the time to deal with you all day, so make it quick. Of course, as you wish. Good. Very well then, let's get started. I know for a fact that I didn't kill the man in the elevator. Her bun is so square and blocky, it makes me think of Hatsune Miku. But she has pigtails. What I don't know is what sort of evidence she has up her sleeve. But I'm certain it doesn't fit with how the crime really occurred. You were out cold. Maybe you did murder him. What Tammy saw. I swear to tell the whole truth as a professional flight attendant. Unfortunately for you, Mr. Edgeworth, I am certain you are the killer. The scene I saw in front of the elevator. It was you standing there with fresh blood dripping off the murder weapon. What? Was that travel wallet the murder weapon? And it wasn't blood, that was wine. So if you would please cooperate, we'll turn you over just as soon as we land. What's in our organizer? Is this the murder weapon? Picked up off the floor in front of the elevator. It isn't mine, so whose is it? Crime scene. Body found at 6:15 a.m. inside the elevator. Stopped at the first floor lounge. Looks like there's blood on the back of his head. He was hit with the thinker! Some kind of dog or cat trophy. It has blood on it too. Sky magazine. What? Details meals, movies, and other services inside. Touch the check button for details. Oh, okay. Flight itinerary. All times shown correspond to our departure time zone. Okay. Oh, it looks like it says Capcom at the top. It has the white and yellow, blue and yellow letters. I don't know. And my badge. Is there anything different to say? Are we gonna search every nook and cranny? No, he doesn't say anything different. I can't just speed through this. Alright, let's just finish talking. If you would please cooperate, we'll turn you in as soon as we land. That's it? That's her evidence? I don't think you could ask for a more perfect witness testimony. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Edgeworth? Not really. It's hardly perfect when there's a gaping hole in it. Rebuttal! What she saw. I swear to tell the whole truth, okay?
Hold
it! Tell me, what exactly puts the pro in professional flight attendant for you? Well, it means we're very professional about how we take care of our passengers. Service is like fetching papers and responding to calls are done with speed and accuracy. I can assure you that I give testimonies with the same level of professionalism. But I'm sure you've already realized that by now, right? It's a bit hard to appreciate your professionalism. I'm the one under suspicion. There you have it. My professional testimony is accurate and reliable.
Hold it!
Certainly seems sure of yourself. Of course, a professional flight attendant can't afford to make mistakes after all. Perhaps, but you must admit there are few who can look at a murder with a clear mind. We attendants all go through extensive training and are always calm and collected. Is that why you screeched like a howler monkey? We'll even calmly serve you coffee if you so wish, as the plane makes a splashdown. I fail to see how that would be the calm and rational thing to do in an emergency. You bet she had him tied up swiftly and efficiently and then ordered him a coffee. Probably. Even until the bitter end, we're there to serve the passengers. She really does have a square bun. Coffee, you got it. That is the duty of all professional flight attendants. You certainly are confident. Anyway, shall we return to your testimony? Why is Edgeworth bent over like that? Are his hands tied or something? Behind his back? The scene I saw in front of the elevator.
Hold it!
Yes? What did you see in front of the elevator? That's what I was just about to tell you, Mr. Edgeworth. Framed by the elevator doors and bathed in the light coming from within. It was you standing there with fresh blood dripping off the murder weapon.
Hold it!
The murder weapon dripping with blood? Really now? I swear that was the grisly scene I saw before me. His hands are tied? Okay, I guess so. Thank goodness it wasn't a passenger who saw, or there'd be widespread panic by now. Yeah, it does look like his hands are behind his back. As I recall, you were quite panicked yourself at the time. Excuse me? You were scared enough to misread the situation and accuse me of murder. Nonsense! Professional flight attendants cannot afford to be that flustered. I witnessed the murder scene and am now listening to your defense, all with a smile. Gosh, these cats won't stop busting up my door. Is she inside or outside? Crystal! Crystal! She must be outside. I can hear her meowing and it sounds like she's inside. Anyway. Apparently, you also lie with a smile on your face. So if you would please cooperate, we'll turn you over as soon as we land.
Hold it!
I'm not the culprit, and yet you would keep these restraints on me? Oh yeah, he's restrained. Mr. Edgeworth, please try to understand what kind of situation you're in right now. And what exactly is my situation? I have the backing of the captain to keep you bound in this way. We are within our legal right to restrain anyone who might threaten our captain mid-flight. In essence, you're in the same situation as someone who has been arrested by the police. So I'm to stay restrained until I can clear up all of her doubts. At least I'm close. Her mistake shines like the silver lining on a dark rain cloud. And I'm going to capture some of that light with evidence. Alright, I guess we're supposed to show her the quote-unquote murder weapon? Was it this?
Objection!
Yeah! Miss Tammy! What is with the yelling all of a sudden? Arg! Force of habit. Well, it doesn't matter. Miss Tammy, you say you saw the murder weapon dripping with blood, is that correct? Yes, all that blood. Drip, drip, drip. Just recalling that scene sends a chill down my spine. sorry, but your so-called professional flight attendant training has failed you. Ah! What? I'd like to direct your attention to this. Do you know what this is? It's a travel wallet, right? But it looks a little big and bulky. The thing you saw me holding when I discovered the dead body in the elevator was this very travel wallet, Miss Tammy. What? Impossible! Now then, do you still think I'm the killer? That I killed him with a travel wallet? I saw blood dripping from the wallet. I know I did. As you can see, this wallet is clearly stained. But if you would be so kind as to take a whiff, I think you'd agree it's only grape juice. It's just grape juice. Ah, then, that's right, you mistook grape juice for blood. The murder weapon dripping with blood does not in fact exist. No! You can kill someone with the wallet. Yeah, I guess you could. I don't know. There, that should clear up the pesky accusation. Hold it! Wait just a sec. That is... I mean, even a wallet could be deadly if it were wrapped around something heavy. Sniff my wallet. That'll get you tied up for sure. Hey ma'am, could you sniff this wallet? Does that look like blood to you? Just sniff it. It's okay. It's just grape juice. I demand that you show me what's inside, please. She's trembling, and the tacked-on please at the end sounds like I've got her. There's no need to look inside, even if you can tell its appearance that it's light. No, I can't be sure of anything until I see the contents of the wallets myself. For myself. She's a persistent one. I suppose we have no choice but to see what's inside. Miss Tammy, if you would be so kind as to open the wallet and check its contents for me. Alright, I usually don't pry into passengers' belongings, but we have no choice here. Something like this is the really big question. If someone hit the guy with the law book, is it guilty? Whoever used the law book is the guilty party. Grape juice stains the outer cover. True, it was I who dropped it in the juice, however... It is I who dropped it in the juice. However, I didn't do it of ill intentions. Flip. It seems that this passport is all that's in here. Tammy vision. As you saw, there's nothing but a passport inside. The surrender to your wallet was the murder weapon argument moot. Wouldn't you agree? Hold it! Please, hear me out, Mr. Edgeworth. What is it now? Well, I was wondering, whose passport is it exactly? Well, open it up, you dumb bitch! Can I take a look? Why not? I'm rather curious myself. This is... Ackby Hicks. Type P. He's from Borginia! Just as I thought. This travel wallet belonged to Mr. Ackby Hicks. Ackbay? Which makes it the victim's property. Wallet data updated in my organizer. I don't know, those weird sounds are how I used to give voice to the Borginian language and Apollo Justice. Whatever they would speak in weird symbols, I just go blah, blah, blah. Anyway. Wallet data updated in the organizer. He's Borg! You stole the victim's wallet, didn't you? How dare you! You said it yourself. You claimed to be holding this wallet in your hands when I found you. Perhaps I did misconstrue the wallet for the murder weapon, but it seems that I wasn't wrong about who the culprit is. Oh my god. Miss Tammy is lauded. As you claim, the murder weapon is not the travel wallet. However, it is something you stole from Mr. Hicks after you were done with the vile deed, polishing his knob. I find it hard to believe myself, but your motive was very simple. He's in charge of murder and stealing the wallet. Well done. We thought we were getting ourselves out of a situation, but we dug it deeper. You were out to steal Mr. Hicks' money, weren't you? So even though I didn't have the murder weapon on me, you still suspect me, I see. You stood up at the crime scene with the victim's wallet in your hands. How can I turn a blind eye and not suspect you of foul play? We'll just have to wait until someone else gets murdered while we're having this discussion. Then she'll believe us.
Hold it!
Shouldn't that be proof enough for you that I did not murder the victim? Not at all! Oh, and why not? Because that wallet may not have been what I thought it was. It turns out it really is the murder weapon! However, it is something you stole.
Hold it!
Haven't you seen the spoon murderer? The serial butt stabber. You think I stole it? Yes! I'm very sorry to say it, but I wouldn't usually be so rude, but it must be said. I never thought I'd see the day, but here I am calling a passenger a thief. Maybe I should put on a serious face and say it more directly. I believe you removed the wallet from the victim's personage. His belongings. Serial spoon killer. It really doesn't matter how you phrase it. What I'd like to know is why you think I stole Mr. Hicks' wallet. Well, you had it in your hands. I find it hard to believe myself, but your motive was very simple.
Hold it!
I don't think I have any sort of motive to speak of. I've never met Mr. Hicks before, and our only connection is this one flight. But that is more than enough of a reason. How do you figure? He was sitting in first class, and I think the implication is quite clear. What? If we were both in first class, wouldn't you assume that I had enough money that I didn't need to steal it? I don't know, but there are crazy people who steal even if they don't need money.
Hold it!
You think I was after his money? Where did that cockamamie idea come from? That word looks so weird when it's spelled cockamamie. True, you were also a passenger in first class, but I thought something was off about you in those deeply etched lines on your forehead. Are you profiling me? They're not lines, they're perfectly normal and a part of my natural face. I don't think I've ever met someone with such terrible countenance on a flight before. She's racist! And that's when it hit me. You had the face of someone with money trouble. She really is making a fool of herself pursuing this line of logic. I should spare her and present the piece of evidence that contradicts her testimony. That I'm filthy rich! Whoops. Well, what proves that we weren't stealing? I'm not sure what I'm supposed to show. Or maybe the fact that the wallet has no money in it. His credit cards seem to be, and his money is all over the place. We showered him with money and then killed him with the wallet! must be the picture where the money's all over the floor.
Objection!
Yes. I wonder if I might get a word in, Miss Tammy. What is it now? Miss Tammy. I wonder if you noticed the contradiction within your own testimony. What are you talking about? You know, I just realized that he was on a flight with a murderer only to get back to his office at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., and a murder occurred in his office. Like you guys said, it must really suck being around these people. Simply impossible that the motive for the murder was monetary theft. One glance at the crime scene should have told you that. What about this scene would prove that the motive for the murder was not the money? Where am I supposed to point? Everywhere there's money. Here, right here. There's money everywhere. If I may direct your attention to the things strewn all over the floor. Strewn. Ah! That's right. The floor is covered in bills and coinage. We were having all sorts of fun in that elevator. By your rationale, these were the very things the killer was after. Oh! I think we can assume that the wallet fell during the victim's struggle with his killer. And I would think that the killer would have noticed something like money scattering everywhere. Furthermore, as you can see, there was no effort made by the killer to gather the money. But the wallet! It was empty! Ah yes, the wallet. You will also recall that the only thing in it was his passport. If you're really insisting that it was a crime based on greed, then you're claiming that it was all for an empty travel wallet. Forgive me! Please! No. Hey, what the heck? Someone's missing! Are you saying the attendant's wrong? So that guy isn't the killer? Ha! Don't believe me, everyone. It's a trick. Oh, don't believe it, everyone. It's a trick. Will you please be quiet? Miss Tammy, yes? You lost your cool when you saw the dead body. Plus, the lounge was dark and looking into the light from the elevator. It's easy to see how you mistook the wallet in my hand for the murder weapon. I take no offense that you thought I was the killer. Mr. Edgeworth! Let me make out with you. Oh, thank you for releasing me. Oh my god. What is it now? I think this guy looks like a murderer if you... Miss Tammy, if you could please translate, I'd be much obliged. It sounds like Borginian, but I don't understand any of it. There's another attendant on this flight who... I said that he's giving the runabout. Why did you not say it in English? I don't require an interpreter. I speak English just well. See? You, the attendant. Yes, sir. I want this person to be under the arrest until we arrive at the airport. I think he is the killer. Goodbye. Is he rubbing that thing? What is that? He's rubbing a golden dildo. I'm sorry, sir, but what exactly are you hoping for? What is it you want? I'm finished talking to the likes of you. Please, I would like to hear why you would like me to be held under arrest until we land. Look at his face. You! How dare you try to waste my time? You were the one who stuck your nose into my affairs. He's polishing it off. I wanted to spend even at least one more second with my precious art. That's art? I have no time for other things. I know what you are. I see through you. Insolvent? Yes! I am pretty sure that's how you say it in English. I think maybe insolent? Well, I'd hope that I don't dissolve in water. But I don't think that's what you meant. I'm sorry, but I don't think I caught your name. I am Zinc LeBlanc II, Jr. I'm a very wealthy man in Morginia. But I'm not an ordinary rich man, I'm an art dealer, a rich seller of beauty. Mr. LeBlanc, what did you mean just now? Pardon? When you said that Mr. Edgeworth was giving me the runabout. I have to explain? Unbelievable! I will say it once and only once. I do not have even a second to waste. Time is money, as they say. Yes, and yet you continue to blather on. Ugh, this guy's ugly. I saw it! Yes, I did! I saw the victim go into the elevator. Going down to the lounge. It was exactly at 6 o'clock. And what's the significance of that time? At 6, he says. Wait, you saw him at 6? Oh, what's the matter, Mr. Edgeworth? He understands, I see. Miss Attendant, what time did you discover the body? Well, it was a little after that patch of turbulence, so I would say around 6:15. Ah! Hicks was his name, was it? Then I say that man Hicks was killed in the 15-minute time span. And the only person in the lounge at the time was this prosecutor, yes? Well, and the flight attendant. Yeah, I was in my seat the whole time. Guys, me too. I was watching the movie and enjoying a fine glass of grape juice. That's not how you drink grape juice, dude. Damn, that guy's got like a huge thing of candy and he's got pancakes? Or is that a steak? Giant thing of bread? Damn. I still haven't finished, see? The other passengers have an alibi, so you have no problem with them, I suppose. No compliance, I see. What? Not a single word against this, right? I have no way of discounting what you have put forth at this point, but it wasn't me. Oh, so you say. But do you have, what you say, the evidence? Well, I mean, if you would stop rubbing that thing weirdly, maybe I could concentrate. Mr. Edgeworth, are you really the culprit after all? Mr. LeBlanc, I suppose you're quite certain in what you saw? Enough to give testimony? Of course! I was looking at that man the whole time. Okay. He was playing with that annoying little, small machine the whole time. Machine? Yes! That's what you people call it in English, yes? It was making me crazy with the click, click, click. And that description sounds like some sort of small computer. I believe what Mr. LeBlanc is talking about is a cell phone. I had to say that I did see him playing with it quite a bit myself. A simple cell phone? A laptop or organizer I can see, but it's kind of low budget. I hate that noisy little machine in his hand. Not a fragment of beauty. All it produces is ugly sounds. Anyway, I know what I saw. Miss Tammy, yes? I was wondering if I might be granted permission to examine the crime scene. What? You want to examine the crime scene? If you would grant me a little measure of time, I'm sure I can produce the real culprit. Humph! I don't like the sound of that. Fox in the duck pen. Yes, I think that is how you say it in English. It's fox guarding the hen house, and I believe my innocence was proven earlier. And if I'm given the chance, I can clear up all the remaining doubts. Miss Tammy, if you wait until we arrive, there's a good chance that some evidence will have been destroyed by then. I understand. Let me see what the captain has to say. Ha! This should not be approved. Please, Mr. LeBlanc, in an emergency, all decisions are to be made by the captain alone. Now, please wait here while I go ask the captain what to do. I'll be right back. Goodbye. You are not planning to erase evidence when you are doing your investigation, yes? Of course not. Ha! We will see. Mr. Edgeworth, you have the captain's permission to investigate the current crime scene. Whoa, what? Unbelievable! I'm in your debt, Miss Tammy. However, there is one condition. I am to supervise you. Can you agree to that? Yeah, sure, I'll just murder you too. She was never seen again. She never comes back from the captain. I see no problem with that stipulation. It's only natural, as I am still a suspect in this case. Grrr! I take full responsibility and will watch Mr. Edgeworth's every move. I hope this is reassurance enough that there will be no foul play. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, shall we proceed? If you should need my help with anything, please feel free to touch the... Please touch my partner button. It's time to head to the scene of the crime. The first floor lounge. Can I wander around the plane? Let's look at everything. This was Mr. Hicks' seat. I don't see the machine Mr. LeBlanc was talking about. Perhaps it's in the elevator. Maybe. We should probably head down to the crime scene now. Damn, it's that kind of game. What's in my organizer now? Nothing really. Looks like he spilled something. I guess I can't check that out. Ungood. Don't get near me, you criminal! He said, don't get near me, you criminal. I'm not the killer, and I intend to prove that starting now. But that's contrary to the facts. He says, but that's contrary to the facts. I can understand his English just fine, thank you very much. What's a lifesaver doing here? I bought it at the flight stop just beyond the lounge. If something should happen, having one will save your life. I think this guy would have been better off not taking a plane to begin with. He has the oxygen mask out and everything. Hey miss, how about another glass? Excuse me, but I was wondering if you know anything about the murder. How about it? How about a glass together? Sorry, but I must decline. I wasn't talking to you! I was talking to the cute attendant. I'm sorry, but I'm on the clock right now. But if you need a refill, I'd be happy to bring you another glass at any time. You got it, Toots! There's no way to talk to a lady. What a joik! Look at all these bottles lined up in a row. It's a miracle they made it through the turbulence without a scratch. Actually, we asked the drink vendor to clean up all the ones that did break earlier. When you mean to tell me he put all these up here after... Then you mean to tell me he put all of these up here after the turbulence? We're simply thrilled to have someone so interested in all the variety of drinks available. I don't think anyone should drink this much. There's such a thing as overhydration. What's over here? Oh, what? March 12th, 7:26 a.m. Flight I-390 first floor lounge. This wasn't what I wanted to do, but okay. I want to thank you for your help back there, Miss Tammy. It was nothing. You should thank the captain for granting you permission. And just so everything is perfectly clear, I still don't trust you to that extent. I don't want you to think your standing with me has changed. I see. I'll bear that in mind. I received an order from the captain earlier. He wanted you to know that we reserve the right to stop your investigation if we feel you are not making progress. And when we do, he asks that you please return to your seat at that time. So my time runs out at his and his crew's discretion, does it? I have to find a way to discredit Mr. LeBlanc's testimony before the time's up. I understand. By the way, is there any place you can think of where the killer might hide on board? I don't think so. After every first-class passenger was accounted for at his or her seat, we made a thorough search of the plane. As for business and economy class, no one can move between those two classes in first class without a staff keycard. And we found no record of a keycard being used at all. Which means that I have a first-class killer on my hands. At least I know that much for sure. And one other thing. No one else has been allowed near the crime scene since the murder was discovered either. First floor lounge. Okay. Now then, let's get started. Where should we start from? Let's start with Mr. LeBlanc's statements. The crime occurred between 6 a.m. and 6:15 a.m. During that interval, the only person in the lounge was myself, which would make me the prime suspect. However, since I did not kill Mr. Hicks, it means that the killer was around somewhere. If we're to believe what you say is true, then yes. The first order of business will be to gather information to win your trust. Can I go back? I didn't finish talking to the first class passengers. I'm gonna be right back. My cats are scratching at my door. Oh, I don't have a be right back picture for this. Oh well, I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. I couldn't tell if they were inside or outside. I could hear them meowing, but I don't know. They were outside. Alright, let's continue. Alright. Alright, examine this door. This door leads to the flight attendant's room. Oh, thank you, GQ. Please understand that it's off limits to unauthorized personnel. The room is giving off the scent of women's perfume. One would think that perfume would smell great. However, to me it simply smells. Not that I have any interest in what lies beyond this door. Perhaps we should return to the investigation, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth? Sorry, I spaced out for a second there. You know, I don't wear perfume. I'm allergic. It makes my nose hurt, my sinuses and all that. These bottles and glasses must have been broken by the turbulence. There's quite a bit of broken glass here. Please be careful when passing through the area. Thank you very much for the warning, Mr. Edgeworth. However, no matter how kind you are towards me, know that it does not clear up any suspicions I have about you. I wasn't warning you for the sake of clearing my name. God. These counter windows offer a glimpse of the sky, but these clouds, they tell me nothing. Mr. Edgeworth, you look like you're talking to the clouds. Is that so? Then tell me, what do you suppose I said to them? Whoa. I don't know, but it looked like a rather one-sided conversation. Clouds, they tell me nothing. There's a few copies of Sky magazine in the magazine rack. This month's special is an English trivia quiz. That's not a bad idea. I've heard that the youth of today don't know a particle from a participle. Now, please don't go around confusing people with made-up words, Mr. Edgeworth. Who's ever heard such a silly word as participle? Case in point. There's a piano. This grand piano is the pride of this plane. It can play the music of whatever CD we insert into the CD drive. That's not a piano, it's more like an overgrown music box. Ah, but its keys to press along with the music as though there really is someone playing it. Some people have entirely too much money to waste on overly complex toys. Okay, we can't go up the stairs. This toppled over chair. Yet another victim of the turbulence. Ah, no! Look at the grape juice staining the back! It may not look like it, but this chair was extremely valuable. It was? Yes! It was used when the Rocker Pals came to tour this plane. The Rocker Pals leader sat at this very chair. I'm sorry, but what are these Rocker Pals? I can't believe you've never heard of them. They're all the rage. The Rocker Pals are an extremely popular international band. I bet there will be a murder among them later in this game. They added the pals part as they became more popular, especially among teens. Ah, that explains it. I'm not really one for the music of today. Maybe I should ask Detective Gumshoe about them later. On second thought, I can already see how confusing the conversation would get. Pal! Glasses and candles thrown into disarray by the turbulence. It's been a while since I've seen this big of a mess. It's terribly embarrassing, but I thought it was an earthquake for a second. And I frantically started searching for gas valves to shut off. I guess the shaking of the plane was bad enough to be mistaken for a real earthquake. Not that I would know, since I was unconscious for most of it. The in-flight shop is just beyond these shutters, but we don't have permission to open them, so I'm afraid I must leave them closed. There must still be clues to be found in this lounge. I must remain ever vigilant. There's some spilled grape juice in front of the elevator. I assume it was spilled during the turbulence. Oh, we must clean that up or someone might get hurt. Aha! What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? I found some very important evidence. What is the important piece of evidence in this scene? I guess the footprints?
Take that!
Take that! What is it? They're a little smudged, but I think we can both agree they are a set of footprints. We've gained some logic. So you think... Yes, these belong to our killer. Oh, then maybe we should check the shoe sizes of everyone in first class. I don't think that will be of any help to us. Unfortunately, the prints are too smudged, which will make it hard to get a definitive match. Oh, I see. Let's look at our logic so far. Where was the killer? And spilled grape juice. We're not children. We know it's not grape juice. What or who is this? This is a bronze statue of the founder of the iFly Airlines, Mr. Hugo iFly. The one on the left is of when he was in his 40s, and the other is of him in his 80s. They look the same. And they might actually age in the span of 4 decades? Maybe I need to squint more. He does look the same. Alright, I guess let's go ahead and look at the guy. What floors does this elevator service? Only the first and second, although it can also go down into the cargo hold. However, that requires a flight crew key card. So the only floors accessible to passengers are the first and second. The first and second, huh? I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Well, let's go ahead and examine that. I doubt anyone was expecting to find a dead body in an elevator on this flight. So, Mr. Hicks, he's really dead. Yes. She's trembling, although I can't fault her for that when there's a corpse right there. Mr. Hicks, if you're really dead, then please answer yes. I see she's over the trembling now, though a new symptom seems to have appeared. Anyway, I should focus on the victim's body. Let's see. There's blood on the back of Mr. Hicks' head. Could this be the cause of death? He appears to have been struck very hard. Even his glasses are broken. Is there something in his pocket? There's something sticking out of his pocket. I hope he won't mind if I take a look at what's inside. It's a picture. It looks like it was taken inside a building somewhere. Alright, we jotted it down. What is this? Sinister looking figure on the floor here. iFly Airlines? Oh, what is it? It's a piggy bank? It's a piggy bank of our company mascot, Mr. iFly. It's just one of the many pieces of merchandise we sell at our in-flight shop. This bank is a limited edition and is so popular that we're down to our last one. You have an in-flight shop? Yes, it's just beyond the lounge to the right. The shutter to the store is closed at the moment, but it was open the whole time, the whole flight up until Mr. Hicks' body was discovered. There's blood on here. Could this have been the murder weapon? Money is strewn all over the floor of the elevator. I would guess it was all in Mr. Hicks' wallet at some point. Why? He's got a lanyard on. I wonder what was hanging off this lanyard. Something's missing from this picture. Now if I could just put my finger on it. Let's see, the picture should show us. Yeah, oh, that's what he had his phone on. He was hit on the back of the head. Alright, let's look at the logic. Oh gosh, there's a lot. Broken glasses. Where was the killer? Let's see, this one and this one. A statue with blood on it is lying next to the body of a man who was beaten to death. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, I think I figured something out. Yes? What is it? The way the blood is on this, it looks like it matches up with the wound on his head. Well, aren't we deserving of the Master of the Obvious title? Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth? Don't you think that's worth investigating? It would appear that this figurine is our murder weapon. Oh, I just knew it! I mean, I can't think of any other connection. Perhaps Master of the Oblivious would be more befitting. Mr. iFly piggy bank data jotted down in the organizer. Let's look at the piggy bank real quick. Usually on display at the in-flight shop, found at the crime scene with blood on it. It says iFly Airlines. You know, I've seen it occur a lot recently and it's been bothering me greatly. Why does nobody know how to properly capitalize and space nouns anymore? There's some blood on one of the corners. Could this piggy bank be the murder weapon? Ooh. I suppose this is where you insert your coins. I have to say, for a piggy bank, it's made rather well. So well, in fact, that I'm not sure there is a way to take your money out. So what is it? A panda? Or... I don't know what that is. I think that's it. Alright, let's go back to the logic. Where was the killer? Elevator. Looking glasses. I don't know if these two match. Let's go ahead and try, I guess. I can't see a clear connection between these two pieces of information. Okay. I think that's all we can gather from that. And I think we can deduce... Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? This...
Eureka!
Eureka! Mr. Hicks's machine is nowhere to be found. His machine? Ahem, his cell phone, Miss Tammy. Ah, so I guess because it's not here. Yes, I think we can safely deduce that the killer took it. Right? Missing cell phone. Oh, I can't deduce anymore. I guess that was the only thing I needed. The victim supposedly had one, but it has gone missing. Did the killer take it? Yeah, we can't deduce anymore. That must have been it. I doubt anyone was expecting to find a dead body in the elevator. Okay. I thought maybe there's something with his hand. Glasses are broken. Money is on the floor. I don't think we can do anything else with that information. What is this on the floor? Whoops, I didn't mean to do that, but okay. Are you in need of assistance? No, not really. There's gotta be something else we can do. can't imagine the broken glasses have anything to do with the grape juice, where the killer was, or the elevator itself. I wonder if there's something we're missing. I already checked this area earlier, but it never hurts to take another look. Okay. There's no grape juice residue on the soles of his shoes, making it highly unlikely that Mr. Hicks entered this elevator after the turbulence. Okay, that seemed like it was important. I don't think there's anything else to look at. Spilled grape juice in a pool at my feet. Unfortunately, the delightful scent of grapes is obscured by the unpleasant smell of the crime scene. The scent is in the air. Oh, the scent in the air. It's the same smell as the smell of my towels after they come out of my home dryer. I would have never expected something like that by looking at you. I suppose everyone has something unpleasant about them. What? I don't see anything else to look at. Let's see, even if you show that to me, I still cannot... Oh, I clicked to quit. I'm sorry, but I must admit that I still have my doubts about you. Guilty until proven innocent, I see. Okay, I guess she's not gonna talk to me about anything. Can I not go anywhere else? Let's try piecing some logic together, I guess. Let me save it real quick. Clues that point to where the killer could have been. Oh, okay. True, there wasn't anyone else in the lounge other than myself right before the turbulence. But if the killer was in the elevator along with the victim, then that's a different story. Alright. In the elevator with Hicks. If only I could prove that the killer rode in the elevator with Hicks. There's nothing else I can do. Ugh. Okay. I have it! I'm sorry, but I don't understand, Mr. Edgeworth. I can prove that someone other than myself was here around the time of the murder. What? Really? Yes! It's rather simple, actually. The proof is in the pudding, or rather, the grape juice in this case. These footsteps here confess to me this very fact, that someone exited the elevator alive. Seeing as how the victim is dead, that would mean a second person. But couldn't the footprints be from Mr. Hicks himself? Ah, if you take a look at the victim's shoes, you can see the soles are spotless. Which means Mr. Hicks wasn't alone in the elevator. In fact, it's quite the opposite. There was actually one other person inside the elevator. Alright, we've added the footprints. Or, yeah. Oh good. We did it! What's going on over there? Unforgivable! This is unforgivable! Do you understand what I'm saying? The movie is late! It is the same level of bad as if the plane arrived late. But the movie... What? I will not talk to you anymore. You are just wasting my time. What is the matter, Mr. LeBlanc? If there's no emergency, please return to your seat, sir. Do not tell me what to do! I need not to sit down. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, did you prove that you're innocent yet? If you would like, I'll prove my innocence to you right now. What? Nonsense! Are you saying my eyewitness testimony is mistaken? Not mistaken, merely that there is room for doubt. I'd be mostly honored if you could please tell me what you saw in detail once more. Fine, suit yourself! Oh, great. Huh. What I saw. I'm certain I saw Mr. Hicks enter that elevator. It was when the needles in my pocket watch pointed to the 6 and the 12. The body was discovered 15 minutes after that in the lounge, yes? Then you, the only person in the lounge at the time, must be the criminal. Mr. LeBlanc's conclusions seem to make logical sense. After all, the only person in the lounge at the supposed time of the murder was me. So, my eyewitness testimony, if you think you can destroy it, then come, let me see! Hurry! Do I look like a man who is having the time to wait for you? Why is he so irritated? I'm the one accused of murder here. Anyway, I must find a way to discredit Mr. LeBlanc's account somehow, and fast. Alright? Okay, I know I saw him in the elevator.
Hold it!
Mr. LeBlanc, were you able to take a good look at the inside of the elevator at that time? Of course! I saw what was inside. And you're sure that the victim was in the elevator alone? Yes! The only person inside was that Mr. Hicks man. This last outburst is a bit too important to let go. The only person inside was that Mr. Hicks man. Hold on. What do I want to look at? I wanted to look at something. Spilled during the turbulence. Looks like the footprints and something... Looks like footprints and something being dragged. Oh yeah, there's something being dragged. Oh yeah, I want to look at this. Hmm.
Hold it!
Was he really alone? Of course! I will bet even 1 cent! Treat a cheap ante for cheap testimony. But if that's how you want to play it, I'll happily take your 1 cent. It was when the needles on my pocket watch pointed to the 6 and the 12.
Hold it!
This is probably a time zone thing. I assume the pocket watch in this case is the one you keep checking, is that correct? Oh, you noticed. It's a very expensive antique, I will have you know. The feeling is wonderful when I fully wind it up by hand. It does look very well designed and quite classy. I will have to charge you if you want to touch it. That's quite alright. I'll keep my hands to myself. Let's continue with your testimony. What a cheap man you are. Now return the time you wasted back to me. And if we must, I saw Mr. Hicks enter the elevator at 6 o'clock. Body was discovered 15 minutes after that.
Hold it!
It's true that I found the victim's body at 6:15. And that's when I found the 2 of them as well. You see, it all matches my testimony. And you, the only person in the lounge at the time, must be the criminal.
Hold it!
That is the most mistaken way of thinking I've ever heard. No. Your silly opinion is what is mistaken. Please, calm down, the both of you. In a sense, you're both mistaken. Well, if that isn't the pot calling the kettle black, then I don't know what is. Humph. I spy a little hole in his words. As you wish, Mr. LeBlanc, I will show you proof of my innocence. Okay. I don't think it has anything to do with this. I think it's this.
Objection!
Mr. LeBlanc. What is it? There's a very glaring contradiction in your testimony. What do you mean? Please take a look at the area in front of the elevator. There, the spilled grape juice. Yes, and? Will you admit you also spilled it with the blood? No, it spilled itself during the turbulence. But the interesting thing there is the set of grape juice footprints. Footprints! Yes, the ones that lead from within the elevator out into the lounge itself. It's evidence that proves that someone other than Mr. Hicks exited the elevator alive. Oomph! There must have been another person in the elevator with Mr. Hicks. Now then, I'm done playing games. Why don't you tell us the truth? Can you please translate for us? Oh my god! Is that regulated uniform for the flight? No way, that's totally impossible! I guess is what he said. No way! That is totally impossible! I know there was no other person in there. I saw with my own eyes. If you want to know what I think, Mr. Edgeworth, I don't think Mr. LeBlanc is lying to us. I suppose she's right. He doesn't seem to be lying. Then what does it mean? What about this contradiction? Mr. LeBlanc, please just one more. Will you recall the details of what you witnessed for me? Nerg. Who makes these noises in real life? What I saw, part 2. I was very upset when Mr. Hicks passed by my seat. I was always checking the time over and over again. Alright, GQ, thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it. And I hope you have a good day. Bye-bye. I was always checking the time over and over again. I happened to follow that man with my eyes when he passed by me. And I saw clearly into the elevator he was entering. But I swear there was no one else inside. No one! Except me. Mr. LeBlanc, if you would please calm down. What? Dare you to have an issue with... Dare you two have an issue with my eyewitness testimony? No, not at all. Please forgive I said anything. Yet again, he doesn't appear to be lying. But I can't let this testimony stand as the truth. He looks like he's trying to poop or something. I was very upset when Mr. Hicks passed by my seat.
Hold it!
So, are you still upset now? I'm always upset! The only time I am not is when I have a piece of art in my hands. It's surprisingly easy to believe that about him. But I was even more upset when Mr. Hicks walked by me. I was always checking the time over and over again.
Hold it!
Why were you so attentive to the time? Because something unforgivable was happening. Come to think of it, you were yelling about something unforgivable earlier. I was giving a complaint to the attendant about the movie starting time. Return back to me my time in money! You understand the point. Movie? Is he talking about the in-flight one that's mentioned in the magazine? Summary of the plot and start time. Interesting. They were supposed to show License to Love, Laugh, Maim, and Murder. I cannot see that movie in my country. You can only see it on international flights. I looked forward greatly to that movie. I checked my pocket watch whenever possible so I would not miss it. I even set my pocket watch to the destination time when I came on board. So my watch is not wrong. It matched the schedule. The movie was still late. Very, very late.
Hold it!
Your pocket watch. I'd like to ask you a little more about it if that's alright. The movie I wanted to see would not start, so I checked my pocket watch.
Hold it!
So this movie you mentioned, is it the one listed in the Sky magazine? Yes! I was so looking forward to watching License to Love, Laugh, Maim, and Murder! Miss Tammy, was the movie shown on this flight? Yes, it was shown at the scheduled time. Isn't it possible you simply slept through it by accident? Nonsense! You doubt me? No! Now stop pointing at me like that! Odd, how did he miss a movie that he was clearly hoping to see? I checked my pocket watch a great number of times. That much I know for sure. It's set to my destination's time. Oh! It's supposed to be set to the departure time, I think. Right? Yeah, it's the departure time zone. Let's go ahead and press anyways.
Hold
You sure about what you just testified, Mr. LeBlanc? Yes, of course. I'm a very busy man. I am immediately busy when I land. I have many places to go and no time to waste adjusting my pocket watch. I see. That was a very valuable statement you just made. Humph! Flatter me all you want, but you will not get 1 cent out of me. That's alright. All I require is this piece of testimony. I happened to follow that man with my eyes when he passed me.
Hold it!
Since you only happened to see him, it's possible that you missed something in that glance. Even if I only happened, I did not miss a thing. And how can you be so sure? Just because! I would appreciate it if you didn't take my life so lightly with a simple just because. Humph! Well then, I was only making a joke. I saw Mr. Hicks, alright? And I saw clearly into the elevator he was entering.
Hold it!
Is it possible that someone was hiding inside? What? You dare insult me! I have belief in my eyesight. Oh, my throat hurts. When I look for art to sell, I am told often I have great sight for the arts. I think the phrase you were looking for was great sense, although that's debatable. But isn't it possible someone was just outside of your line of sight? You are persistent! I tell you, I looked clearly. There's no one else inside. No one!
Hold it!
This is a very long testimony. Why do you insist that you are absolutely not mistaken? Because when I say I'm not wrong, I am not wrong. Mr. LeBlanc, if I may, I think beyond misconceptions and mistakes lies the truth. Funny, that suspiciously mirrors something I told her only a little while ago. She's like switching sides. I honestly don't think Mr. LeBlanc is lying. I don't think he's lying either, but I think he might be mistaken about something. I'm gonna correct his mistaken recollection with evidence, and this professional attendant shall witness the prowess of a professional prosecutor. Too much alliteration. Alright, my watch is set to the destination this time. Let's go ahead and show him the error of his ways. Let me get a drink real quick.
Objection!
Mr. LeBlanc, you said this just now in your testimony. I even set my pocket watch to the destination time when I came on board. Now, if your watch has been set to our destination's time zone, it would mean that your watch is displaying the time of our destination. Yes, and the correct time is worth its 6 cents. I would like you to take a look at this. If you believe this Sky magazine, clocks on this flight run in accordance with the time of our departure time zone. Of course, the movie schedule was also created with that in mind. Miss Tammy, for confirmation's sake, what time zone is this flight aligned to right now? Well, we made a short stop at a transfer point. That's right, it was in that small Asian country, the Republic of Zhangfa. But we didn't readjust our onboard clocks at that time. So right now we're still running on Borginian time. What?! What was Edgeworth doing in Borginia? The time difference between Borginia and our destination is 9 hours. In that case, it's only natural that your watch would be out of sync with the schedule. Ew! What was that? Further, with your analog watch set to our destination's time, it would appear to be running 3 hours fast when compared to the flight's onboard clocks. It also changes everything about your testimony. And you can bet 1 million cents on that. In light of this information, it means you saw Mr. Hicks 3 hours prior at 3 a.m. My 1,000,000 cents! This should clear up all of the remaining accusations. So this basically widens the time frame for the time of death, right? Yes. Because Mr. LeBlanc saw the victim enter the elevator at 3 a.m. What's with that girl? Is she drugged? It means that the time of death could be anywhere from 3 to 6:15 p.m. The question now is, where was Mr. Hicks during that span of time and what was he doing? I've got something to say. And you are? Yeah, oh. I'm Cammy Melee. Melee. Wait, what? Meal? Melee is E-L-E-E. Meal. I'm a flight attendant. And what is it you wish to say? I think my outfit's too small. Well, I think your story is a little different from how I remember it. What do you mean, Cammy? I saw Mr. Hicks sitting in his seat at 5 a.m., you know. What? How can you be so sure of the time? Oh, that's right. He pushed his call button while we were parked at the transfer point. Ah, the stop we made for refueling and cargo transfer in Zhangfa, correct? Yes, it was from 4 to 5 a.m. according to our clocks. And during that time, did any of the passengers leave? Or did any new ones board the flight? No. Not a single person got off or on in Zhangfa. What about the flight crew? The few who were handling the cargo transfer might have temporarily gotten off on or off. What is with that other girl? She's like totally zoned out. But eventually everyone, including Cammy and myself, came back on the plane. So basically I can assume that no one left or got on since our initial takeoff. Interesting. I should keep that in mind. Refueling in Zhangfa data jotted down the organizer. Yeah, and I answered his call. I can tell you Mr. Akbay Hicks was there in his seat when he took off again at 5 a.m. Alright, now we've got her testimony. Alright then, that puts the time of the murder between 5 and 6:15 a.m. Okay, now what time did you come down to the lounge, Mr. Edgeworth? I remember coming down here almost as soon as we left the Republic of Zhangfa. Ah! You! You were here the whole time from 5, yes? Then you are the only one who could be the killer. Mr. Edgeworth, were you really here in the lounge the entire time from 5 a.m. onwards? Unfortunately, yes. But then how do we explain the footprints? Is it not that obvious? This man waited for Hicks in here in this lounge. Waited to kill him. And then he put the corpse in the elevator. That's when the turbulence happened. My eyewitness testimony may have been mistaken. But what time I saw Mr. Hicks enter the elevator on the second floor does not matter. Because the entire incident concluded here in this lounge. Everything happened in this lounge? Is that what you really believe, Mr. LeBlanc? Do you have another idea? I simply feel that there's something out of place in the scenario you presented. Is there something that can tie the crime to a location other than this lounge? Is there? I don't know. Maybe this?
Take that!
The murder weapon. This little piggy bank is sold at the in-flight shop. It's sold there and only there, and it's not displayed here in this lounge. How then did it find its way here? Don't you find that a tiny bit suspicious? Humph! Such a trivial point! It only means you prepared it taking it from the shop first before coming here. It doesn't prove you're innocent at all. Nerg! Hey, Regent Titan, how are you doing? The piggy bank! The murderer was with the piggy bank in the elevator. By Edgeworth, I guess. Is there no way to win with this man? You can dust his knob. If I may. What is it? You see? Well, it's just as Mr. Edgeworth says. The great piggy bank robbery. I think it's empty. Oh? Why do you know this so well? Well, it's just that that piggy bank was there in the shop. I saw it with my own eyes. And when was this? It was maybe around 5:40 a.m. Isn't that just before we hit the patch of turbulence? That's right. You were in the shop just before the turbulence? Yes, I was. Come to think of it. Miss Tammy, when I found the body, I believe you came out of that door. Yes, I did. And what is beyond that door? That's the flight attendant's room. Then you were on the first floor? Yes. I had to do something at the shop in the flight attendant's room. So I went to the shop first and then to the flight attendant's room. Are you saying you passed by me at some point? Yes, you seemed really into the issue of Sky magazine you were reading at the time. I don't suppose you noticed me walking by. I vaguely recall someone walking by, but I didn't take notice of who it was. Anyway, the piggy bank was definitely there at the shop when I went there. Why did you go to the shop in the first place? I went there for a work-related matter. Work, you say? Gosh, this guy needs to settle down. He's gonna burst a blood vessel. Yes! The upkeep of the shop is also one of my responsibilities. Why did you not say anything about that until now? Is what I want to know. In any case, I believe it's clear that the shop needs to be investigated as well. Shall we head over there then? Hold it! What is it now? Aren't you forgetting something, Ms. Rhoda? Don't you need the captain's permission to check the shop? I bet she's the killer. No, I haven't forgotten. But I've already asked him for permission to search the entire plane. So I think we're alright. Huh? That's weird. What is? Well, I just talked to the captain, see? And he said that he didn't give you permission to do anything like that at all. Oh, what is the meaning of this, Miss Tammy? It means she's lying. Go on, admit that you are. You said you had permission to search all over, but you don't. And yet here you are. You! Flight attendant! What are you trying to do? Pull the sheep over us? The captain's calling for you, Miss Rhoda. Oh, but don't worry. I already got permission to search the shop from the captain. See, unlike you, I do things the right way. Except your uniform. You're not properly wearing your uniform, lady. Why would you do such a thing? Please excuse me. Looks like I get to be in charge now. Please go back to your seat, Mr. LeBlanc. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth. What if she's wearing her uniform the right way? I don't think she is. If you would follow me, I will be your guide from now on. There's something about Miss Tammy that's piqued my curiosity. But right now, investigating the in-flight shop is my top priority. Why is he, like, waggling his finger at me like that? Oh, I'm really mad. You had better hurry and bring to me some evidence. If you could wait just a little longer while we look in the shop. Humph! Don't number the birds before they're born. Don't number the... what? I have no idea what he's trying to say. Don't count your chickens before they hatch, perhaps. All I ask of you is your patience and cooperation. I might have to stop soon and just do something else for 15 minutes. My throat is just... before we start investigating, I guess. Yeah. I think I'm gonna stop it here before we investigate further, because... my throat's hurting really bad.